other interesting cultural news, you have multiple fat black women statues popping up all over for no one can think of a reason. Now, it's brought to us thanks to End Wokeness. He says, quote, I have just one question. Why? Now, most famously, the obese African-American woman, they had a statue of her in Times Square earlier this week for no apparent reason. I think technically they were saying it was to celebrate diversity or something because they're not representative herd. Which definitely isn't. That's not why. And now they're just random obese black women all over. They're all bronze. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's probably high quality bronze. I'm not sure about the emulgate metallurgy of the actual statue. It's probably high quality bronze, but yeah, they're all just random obese in sweatpants and t-shirts. Now he says why. I mean, I think it's to celebrate mediocrity. This person isn't a famous anything. They didn't accomplish anything in their life. It's just random. It's not a musician or shoot. Even though I'm not a fan of any actors or actresses, I mean, shoot, I would at least understand, like, if you were in a couple movies that made billions of dollars that people loved, you'd be a cultural icon. There'd be a significance. There's achievement. Yeah, but no, this isn't a scientist. This is an entrepreneur. I'm not a fan of most politicians getting statues, but it's not even an accomplished politician. Just, regular person. And I was going to say, put another dollar in the Donald Trump is right jar, as, yep, once again, he saw it years ago when they were tearing down Confederate statues. Where will it end? Will they start taking down, Abraham Lincoln and Jackson? And yeah, truth be told, they exactly did that. And now that they replaced and tore down a lot of historic statues, now they're putting up their own. In true 1984 George Orwell fashion, as anyone who has read a history book would have seen coming a mile away. Now, I thought this would go more viral. It got about 600,000 views and 15,000 likes. I mean, one of the first ones comes from Based Electrician, says, quote, this is a global demoralization psyop, but mediocre is normal. Or sorry, be mediocre and normal. Yep. And that got 767 likes. Now, this isn't the number one response by number of likes, but it is the most handsome. For me, the topping show, I say, quote, celebrate mediocrity and hate being exceptional. I got 7 likes. Although I would argue those are the best 7 people of all time, obviously. Barefoot Pregnant says, quote, it's about time we focus on true values, not virtue signaling. And here you see a beautiful statue from 1895. I forget what god that is with Greek mythology. There's so many. But there's a guy who's, in shape. He's got 6-pack, pecs, arms built bigger than people's muscular thighs. And then you have the fat black African-American woman from 2025 getting 902 likes. You also have Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, it makes no sense whatsoever, getting 572 likes. American Papa Bear says, quote, pure retardation, getting 127 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, the left hates all things good. That's why, getting 196 likes. Cool Christian Engineer, says they should have used these ones, use these ones, not one like this. Wait, they should use these ones, not one like this. Is that grammatically correct? I don't know. I think that's a statue. Is that Mother Teresa? Is it a saint with an AR-15? An exceptional firearm by Eugene Stoner, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure the significance of that particular statue. I got 29 likes. We also have anti-woke memes saying, quote, they attempted to rebel against God. This picture says, statue inspired by Christian values. It's a beautiful, I believe it's Michael the Archangel fighting against a demon. And then you have inspired by atheist values. And it's just literally a person with like demonic, like 8 heads, like a serpent, getting 207 likes. Like Eggshell, haven't seen that profile in a while, says, quote, all of them waiting for the same baby daddy. 18 likes. There's actually a statue of George Floyd, a career druggie, and also famously robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint. A staple of the culture in the city, I'm sure. Haha, that's sarcasm. He has a long track record of copious amounts of drugs, and that's actually the true cause of his death. Scrolling down more and more, Rika says, why not? It's a statue. Does it really upset you that much? A contrarian statement, finally. Now, one of the first responses is Ian saying it's a message, not just a statue, getting 34 likes, so not ratioed. Scrolling down more and more. John B says, no one has torn them down because we are not emotionally mature, getting 19 likes. Yep. Joe says, remember 2020, what happened to his statues? Who were the ones upset by them and tore them down? Getting 24 likes. Yep. That one guy has an AI picture of a Statue of Liberty now replaced for a very large African-American woman, getting 684 likes. Sarah Smith says, make it make sense. There's a picture of U.S. founding fathers. Their statues are toppled over and spray painted, and then they're replaced with the large woman, getting 241 likes. Anti-left Maze says, there's many reasons why, and this is a tweet from Joseph saying, quote, America spent 50 years fighting the USSR to become a gay retarded version of it. Getting 749 likes and, scrolling down more and more. Ruby2B says, racist statues. I've never seen statues have a husband, getting 249 likes. You also have Athena saying, quote, diversity means fewer white people. Inclusion means exclusion of white people. Equity means stealing from white people. Getting 143 likes. Those are most of the top comments. And again, because if you look at people who are mostly libertarian or right-leaning, as this has become, kind of a political thing as well, I think these statues are going to basically stay up forever. They're not going to try to tear them down. They're not going to spray paint them. I think they'll just be there forever. Maybe someone will put a funny hat on them or something in terms of like not permanent destruction of property. Here's one more, which is probably one of the best juxtapositions of art and crap. The new one being crap. This is from Palmetto State Conservatives saying, quote, they tear down beautiful statues representing our history, our culture, and replace them with ugly statues of fat Shaniquas. They're attempting to wipe out Western civilization and replace it with third world shit. And again, this is it. They say right-wing art, but it's just, that's like 300 years old. I believe, I forget the artist actually sculpted that, but there's a sculpture of a woman with a veil over her head, which, again, that's hand-carved with no technology or, a hammer and chisel back in the day. The amount of detail is breathtaking and true skill and talent. Then you have the brown statue with, again, there's no details. She has a couple fold marks in her t-shirt, but again, nothing. It is a very rudimentary design that pretty much nearly anyone could do. That got 249 likes. So let me know, do you think these statues will stay up for 1 year, 5 year, 20 years plus? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down in the comments. Great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.